Before we get into the last topic for this section, we need to review just really quickly what we know about parallel and perpendicular lines, specifically the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. So if you'll remember, parallel lines are those lines that follow along side by side. They will never touch, they'll never intersect. So parallel lines have the same slope. Now, perpendicular lines are lines that intersect in such a manner that they have 90-degree angles. That's what, where those lines meet creates 90-degree angles. If you'll remember from those, they have opposite sign, reciprocal slopes. Now, whenever I say opposite sign reciprocal, if our first slope, say, was 5, then the perpendicular slope to that would be the opposite sign, which would be negative, and then the reciprocal. So we would have to flip 5 over to get 1/5. Okay, let's try a problem here. This one says, write an equation of a line satisfying the given condition and give the final answer in slope-intercept form. So we're supposed to write the equation of a line. Very important. We know if we're writing the equation of a line that we have to use this formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now we're going through the point to -3. So they've given us a point, that's our x1, y1, but we need a slope. They didn't give us the slope in this information. But what they did tell us was that it had to be parallel to this line. Well, if it's parallel to this line, then that means it'll have the same slope that this line does. So we're going to come over here to the side, and we're going to look at this line. 3x equals 4y plus 5. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip these around, because since this is equality, then I can look at them, the left side and the right side, either one. If I flip those, it's still the exact same thing. But I'm going to move the 5 over so that I can get y alone. That's my whole goal here. So we have 4y equals 3x minus 5. And then we're going to divide everything by 4 to get the y completely alone. So y will equal 3/4 x minus 5/4. Well, the slope of this line is 3/4. We can read that because that's in the m position in this form. The slope parallel to that would have to be the exact same slope of 3/4. That tells us that we're going to be using 3/4 as the slope in our line. So now we have everything that we need to continue. So y minus the y1 value is -3 equals the slope, which is 3/4, times x minus the x1 value is 2. And now we just finish it out as we have before with the others. Y plus 3, because the double negative is a positive, equals, I'm going to go ahead and distribute here. So 3/4 x, 3/4 times 2 would be minus 3/2. And then subtracting 3 from both sides, we get y equals 3/4 x. I need a common denominator, so I'm going to turn 3 into something over 2. So it'd have to be 6/2 to equal 3. So -3/2 minus 6/2 would be -9/2. Now we have a parallel line going through this point, and our answer is in slope-intercept form, so everything matches what we were supposed to do.